My mom picked me up at the theater later thinking I went to the movie. That's the memory I have.
In interviews for The Last Showgirl, you said that you felt that you'd become your character of Shelley. And I wondered what it was about her that helped you kind of feel the character so deeply and connect to her.
Well, I felt like I transformed into Shelley, that Shelley is her own character, and that I could draw from a lot of life experience, and I could see the vulnerability and all the likable qualities about her. I think you could have played her very bitter, and I felt like, no, she's doing the best she can with the tools that she's been given, and there's no perfect way to be a parent or follow your dreams, and working moms, we all carry such shame and guilt. I just feel that I could, the nuances and the layers that I could bring to her were unique to my experience. Like, I don't know who else could have played Shelley. I know there's people that could have played her, but I felt I had had my whole life because I was going to play this role. And that's why I'd experienced a lot of the things that were really even painful in my life. And so it gave me somewhere to put it, and that made me feel so much better. So it was a healing experience playing Shelley. She's the catalyst to all these great things because I feel like it's cracked open some places in me that were just closed, and even I didn't realize that I was so blocked in some ways.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis has described the film as showing the birth of an artist at the age of 57. And I think, the awards, the critics, they all agree. And I just wondered, what's that experience been like for you? And does it feel like a new beginning, as Jamie Lee said?
Oh, it's definitely a new beginning. It's definitely the beginning, hopefully, of a career as an actress. And I have so much respect for the craft of acting, and I've always, been reading, theater and reading plays. Even when I was on Baywatch, I was reading Tennessee Williams and Eugene O'Neill plays with Samuel French, sitting on the ground thinking, how can I get from here to here? But, I mean, it has something to do with magic and the stars aligning too, that it's a team sport. It's not something you can really pursue on your own. And a lot of people ask me for advice. I'm like, I can't give you advice because I took a very unorthodox route to get here. Living in the mystery and being okay with that is a real practice.
Well, one of my favourite parts of you talking about this film has been the discovery that you're a huge cinephile. Because we're a cinema, I wondered what the film was that kind of kicked off you becoming a cinephile, or kind of started that for you.
I've always loved French films, Jean-Luc Godard, and I've loved Fellini films, and my kids used to make fun of me when I was little when they were little, watching films with subtitles, and I just wanted them to get that experience, to be able to see, I thought even if I was, even like if I had a dinner party, I'd have the Dolce Vita, projected onto the walls. My favorite actresses are Isabelle Huppert or Ellen Bernstein and Jean Moreau, Elevator to the Gallows, and I've always loved jazz and the imperfectness of jazz, and I loved In the Mood for Love, like Hong Kong cinema. So I don't know, kind of all over the place, but I'm constantly feeding my soul, and I think that's what's important. What you read and what you see and what you hear are all creating you. So I'm very careful of what I watch and what I read.
What was the first film that you remember seeing in the cinema, and what was that experience like?
I can see myself at the theater, but I think I skipped the movie and went somewhere I wasn't supposed to go. And then my mom picked me up at the theater later thinking I went to the movie. That's the memory I have.